Hi guys, I'm back today with a layout for the Pink Paislee design team, and I am starting with this gorgeous cut file from Paige Evans, and you can see it's a cut and stitch file. So I have cut that out with my silhouette and then spent a little bit of time stitching around all of those letters, and it looks really beautiful. I love the effect. I've just used a regular back stitch, just adds the tiny bit of texture while keeping the whole page reasonably flat. Now I've got these two photos of Lily to scrap today, and although I loved that really pale blue, I can't really go past rainbow stripes. So all of the papers, in fact everything I used today, is from the new Horizon collection, and the colors are just amazing. I just love them so much. So you can see here, rainbow, that's what I'm going with. Now when I cut this file out with my silhouette, I did keep all of the little inside pieces, and there are 9 in total. So I have gone through and I have picked out 9 coloured papers. Now I've gone for more of the subtle patterns and in a rainbow colour. Obviously, can't go past a rainbow, can I? And I'm just holding up the inside shape from the cut file against the pattern paper, and I'm starting by roughly trimming it out, but then I'm just cutting that with my scissors, just leaving a little border around the edge. So this is how I'm going to back my cut file. The little border that I'm leaving is the bit that I'm going to end up gluing, and the rest will be shown on the inside. So I'm just going to go through and cut all 9 of those. So this is my last one here, and then I can flip this all over and go ahead and glue all those pieces into the cut file. So this is a super easy way to back a cut file. It is a super easy cut file to back, so if you're a little bit unsure about how to go about that, some of those intricate floral designs are gorgeous, but maybe a little too complicated for me. This way you get that beautiful look without putting in hours and hours of fussy cutting. So you can see I'm just using a glue pen and just running a small bead of glue around the outside of each letter. I know that I've left enough room that that's not going to show through on my file on the front side, and then I'm just sticking them down into the back so they fit really nicely within the stitched marks, and everything sits really nicely and flat. And then when you flip it over, you have a beautiful rainbow title for your page. So super easy. Like I said, I love this cut file and I love how this turned out with this rainbow look. Now if you wanted a little bit more dimension, a little bit more bulk to your page, you could very easily stick this piece onto the background with foam. You could even have not stuck down the backing pieces of this cut file onto the actual cut file piece. You could have stuck them onto the background and had the cut file raised up. That would have looked really pretty too. But I am just going to stick this straight down onto my background because I am really conscious of the fact that I'm trying to fit everything I do this year into one album. All of my project live spreads, all of my scrapbook layouts. So as much as I really love those sort of big, bulky, beautiful layouts, sometimes when I can, I'm just trying to go flat. So I am adding a little bit of texture here and there. You can see I have just pushed back, roughed up the edges of the cut file just a little bit on the left, so I have a wee peek of the rainbow coming through, and a little bit on the right. But where I am sticking my photos down, I did just rip the paper a little bit so that the piece underneath my photo is flat. These are some of the gorgeous washi tapes in the Horizon collection, and they really are beautiful, but this one here is sort of this gorgeous coppery gold colored washi, and I just want to add a tiny piece under there. I feel like my photo is kind of just hanging off the edge here a little bit. It needs something just to ground it. I didn't want to match the photos because there's already a lot of patterns and papers and colors going on here, and I didn't want to take away from that. So I'm just going to add a couple of little pieces of washi tape under the photos, just in this beautiful gold, which ends up becoming kind of a neutral, which seems strange, but it becomes a neutral on this page because everything else is so colorful. course, I probably should have done that before I stuck the photos down, but you know me, I'm just a kind of go for it kind of person. So I did manage to lift up the edges of those photos enough to slip the little washi tape pieces in underneath. I have got all of these gorgeous florals from the Horizon collection as well, and I know I want to use them. I'm just not sure how right now. So I'm going through them and picking out the ones I love. And I started by adding some of them sort of tone on tone to the title. And then I moved over to the stripe and was adding them where they sort of matched on the stripes, which I really liked, but I did like having some of them on the left as well. So what I'm going to end up doing is just only having a couple over on my title, and I'm going to do a whole column of flowers on the side. Now you can imagine how hard that was for me, because my initial feeling with all of these beautiful florals is hoard, never use them, but really I decided to just go big or go home with this layout, and I am using as many as I possibly can. I don't want to mess about too much laying them down and changing my mind and stuff, so I'm just going to start gluing here. And most of them, you can see, are relatively close to where the coloured stripe is on the background paper. They're not all going to end up being tone on tone, because otherwise I would have had to skip some here and there, but they are relatively close to where they would be. There are a couple of different styles of florals in this pack. Some of them are sort of clusters of florals with a white outline, and I'm just sticking to all of these single coloured flowers for this layout, just because I don't want to sort of mix them up. And these ones in the title, I'm just tucking them into and sort of overlapping the stitching and the cut file. Now you can see here I've sort of, I'm not happy with how it looks because I haven't added enough, I don't think. So I think when you're going to have a feature like this, you kind of need to add more than what you think. I thought I would have had enough, but there were a few spots that looked a little bit empty, so I'm going to add some of these leaves in here, and that'll help tone in some of those greens from the stripe paper that I haven't really managed to get in with the flowers. So I'm just tucking them underneath some of the florals I've already stuck down, and it helps to fill in that space. But you can see everything's still super flat. You could add some of these flowers with foam again if you were after a bit more dimension, but I am just so pleased with how this really flat layout came about. It's bright, it's beautiful, it's rainbow, and it's got my favorite little pup on there. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you've got any questions or comments, leave them down below for me. If you want any more information on this layout, head over to the Pink Paislee blog. All the details are over there. And if you want to keep watching, there's a couple more videos on screen. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Bye guys.